Alright, cool. So, first and foremost, I'd like to start this off by saying Barakafar, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakwal double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone.
Double honors.
And also salutations to all of the sincere Atkin worldwide, pushing this truth and sincerity worldwide.
Shalom.
Without further ado, we're going to get straight into the sit down and just go into the topic of balance. Having balance in this truth is very important, because you got to understand that, you know, we're rehearsing the righteous acts and we're not perfect. Now, obviously, you got to put in an earnest effort and actually strive for the masteries, but at the same time, you can't drive yourself crazy out here, because there's no way that we're going to achieve perfection without Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So let's get straight into the scriptures and then let the Spirit lead it in it.
Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is abomination to Yahweh Yahweh Shai, but a just weight is his delight.
Go on.
That's right, man. So hey, the Lord is all about balance, man. Okay. Anything that is a false balance is an abomination. Because the scriptures say that, for example, it says, why should, you know, being over righteous, why should thou destroy thyself? You know, you could be so called on fire. You're going in, you're trying to, that candle's burning that real quick, you know, but that isn't really your measure, and then you're going to burn yourself out, start getting bugged out, you know, because the scriptures also say, eat as much honey as sufficient for thee.
That's right.
And at the same time, being doing what we're doing, going through this tribulation, sometimes you're going to have to have some time off. But that doesn't mean, you know, you're going on and relaxing and not doing the work. That mean, what I'm saying by that is, you're going to have some times where, you know, you might go watch a movie, an educational movie, you might get together with Akim, you know, get some yaks, some downtime in a sense, you know, other than when you're doing the work, you know. So there's going to be times when you're going to have to do that, because that's going to balance out your mind. Otherwise, you know, you just end up bugging out, man. You know?
I hear you. Is there more on it?
Yeah, that's it on that, yeah.
Right, I got this for you. This is Sirach chapter 33, and I'm gonna start from verse 10. So you gotta understand that the Most High is balanced. The Most High, in fact, before I get that, I'm going to grab this in Isaiah the 45th chapter. Because what it is, you got to understand, is that the Most High, everything he's created is balanced. The Most High is the perfect example of a balanced nature, because contrary to popular belief, the Most High deals with both good and evil. Isaiah 45:7 will tell you, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, do all these things. So the Lord himself is a balanced power. So, of course, naturally, then his creation is also going to be balanced. Because, like the scripture we just brought out in Proverbs, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. The Lord deals with just weights. And really and truly, you got to understand that in this society that we live in right now, you've got the righteousness fighting against the wicked. Now, you've got these other heathens that come up with their own concepts for it. Some people will call it karma. Some people will come with that yin and yang. But ultimately speaking, the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, is in control of both the good and the evil. And he allows evil really to reign in a certain light, which is, you know, what's currently happening right now. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. But ultimately speaking, the righteous are going to overcome, you know. That's the constant battle, and everything that the Most High has created, you see that. It tells you that in Sirach. I see you holding something, you might as well bring it out.
This is Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay. So in the essence of balance, it's like if you're sowing something that is off balance, that's what you're going to reap. Okay. You're going to be all off balance, and that ain't going to be good for you on this path. Okay, and in this path that we're on, what does it say? It says that there's a war on one side and a fire on the other, right? And what's that talking about? Is that talking about the perils in this truth, man? Okay, you don't want to go off into the fire, off into the water, man. Okay. What you want to do is you want to stay on that path. Okay. Now, sometimes what the Lord is going to do is he might put a stumbling block, right? And you might stumble a little bit. But what does the scripture say? A righteous man falleth 7 times and getteth back up.
And the number 7 represents completion.
That's right. So you're going to keep going on that path, and the Lord is going to let you endure until you reach what? Salvation. Until our Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, returns and saves us.
That's right.
You know, he's the one that really balances us out. He's the measure that balances you out. You might be a brother that, you know, you don't have as much faith, okay, but the Lord will balance you out, man, if you're of the elect. And you might be a brother that has a lot of faith, but then, you know, you going so much that you ain't having no downtime. The Lord will balance you out, man. You might have a brother come check you and do certain things, and it's all in the spirit, and it's all beautiful, you know?
That's right. I got this. Sirach 33:14, going into the Most High's creation, says, good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and there are 2 and 2, one against another. And that's the way everything in the society works. That's the way humans work. That's the way the so-called ecosystem works. You know, you've got the predator and the prey. You've got the light and the dark. You've got the sun, the moon. You've
male
got
and female.
You know, male and female. You know, Esau trying to fuck that up. But, you know, ultimately speaking, there's balance in everything, man. You got the water, you got the fire, man. You got, you know, hot, you got cold. The Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai created everything in measure with something to counteract it, man. And that's the beauty of this thing. If in all, the scripture tells you in Proverbs 16:4, the Lord have created all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So people out here will have the misconception of things, animals like snakes. You got Esau trying to kill mosquitoes and bees. But you gotta understand that they may seem like parasites to you, but without bees, man, the whole ecosystem collapses. Fucking snakes are out there. If there weren't no snakes out in London, we'd have a rat infestation out here. All you gotta do is go on the London Underground to see that. You gotta have life to bring new life upon the earth, bring new life upon the earth when souls die. Because, you know, another thing, contrary to popular belief, souls are recycled, man. You know, we come back. Everything is our balance, man. Go on, bro.
That's right. I got a quick precept. This is Genesis chapter 7 verse 2. Right, it's talking about Noah and the ark, man. It says, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7s, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Now, why did the Lord do that? It's all in balance. Right. So he had 2 of the unclean animals, the male and the female, and he also had 7 of the clean animals, because what? They had to eat. They had to eat, and they're not going to eat they weren't going to break the law and eat the unclean beast. They were going to eat the clean beast.
That's right.
You know, and that was in balance. That was done in balance and the just weight in the Lord, man.
That's right.
You know, like just for example, like Yahweh Shai, he's the greatest. He's the King of Kings. He's our Lord. So in that same way, the scriptures say that his face was more marred than any other man.
That's right.
He went through tribulation unto blood.
That's right.
So he went through the highest tribulation compared to anyone else.
That's right. Well, guess what? He went through the highest tribulation, but now he's got the highest rank, man. He's sat next to on the right hand side of the Father in righteousness, right, man. That's what I want to branch off into, because ultimately speaking, talking about balance, you gotta understand that in order to gain a high rank in the kingdom, you also gotta suffer a great deal, man. You know, there's a Spider-Man quote, man, but I relate to that. It's spiritual. It says, with great power comes great responsibility, man. We're going to be elevated, like it says in the book of Revelations, to a nation of kings and priests. The 144,000 and the 1/3 are going to reign over the remainder of Israel. But in order to get that stead, we ain't just going to walk up in there and just get it freely or get voted in. We got to go through the hell. We got to go through the humiliation on this side, man. It's all about balance. All about balance. Grab what you grabbing, and then I've got a precept after. It's all about balance.
Yeah, I'll get this after. Yeah.
I know, bring on your precept.
Okay, cool. So this is Revelation chapter 7, right?
Is that Ezra's or Revelation?
Sorry, Salakia. 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse. I'll start from 7. I spoke about this earlier. I'll just get a scripture. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if. I'll start from 6 so you get understanding. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. Talking about the kingdom of heaven. Yeah. That's right. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand, and on the left the deep water. And what is that? When you fall into fire, you're going to get burnt. When you fall into deep water, you're going to drown. Right? Now it says, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man but go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And that's why the elect have to be balanced out, man. That's right. Because in the world you've got an imbalance. Because what? You're under the vibration of Esau, which is the master of imbalance. You know, like we were going into, you guys bringing up transgenders, homosexuality, which
endangered species. How you gonna have endangered species? The ecosystem was set up to replenish itself. You got right now, brothers are out in the park. You know, you got animals that are classed as herbivores that come out here, eat off the grass. You know, you got giraffes now, common giraffes, bro, that are endangered because Esau's going up in there and fucking everything up. The ecosystem really is endangered, man. You know, deforestation on mass rates, man. They've got countries in the west coast of Africa, not that we definitely ain't Africans, but you got countries in the west coast of Africa where they see nothing but rivers of plastic just flowing through and through, man. And who you got to thank for that? This damn devil, man. This damn devil, the master of deception, John 10:10, the thief that cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. Because this man is the personification of wickedness, but he's taken wickedness and he's gone boundless with it. That's why he has to be destroyed, because he not only did he fulfill his purpose as the wicked, he exceeded the quota, so to speak. He went further than he needed to, and that's why Yahweh Shimi Hawashai has got to destroy this man, you know. But in regards to the elect, man, we're being furnished, man. We're being, you know, furnished unto all good things and all good works. 1 second. Baba Kashar, if you can bring out Sirach, the 2nd chapter as well.
Can't.
Because really and truly, man, we're going to be given a high rank in the kingdom. We're going to be, Lord willing, Yahweh Shimi Hawashai Ratazar, you know, we're going to be royalty in the kingdom. But in order to be royalty in Yahweh Shimi Hawashai's kingdom, on the flip side of that, we're going to be scumming the devil's kingdom. But guess what? That's going to give us the full understanding. That's going to give us the full 360 of wisdom, you know. That's going to give us the full understanding, you know.
That's right,
bring
man.
that out, bro.
Right, this is, I could just say quickly as well, because you was talking about the extinction.
Yeah.
It's funny because see what he'll do, the devil, so-called, right, man, Esau, right? What he'll do is he'll say, oh, you know, these dinosaurs are extinct, okay, in their documentaries and stuff, because they want to get far away from that time and the cavemen and all that, which they are, right, as much as they can. But the funny thing about that is that the dinosaurs aren't extinct. They're out there, but they're just in smaller measures now, okay? Like, let's take for an example, a rhino. What's it called? A rhinoceros, right? And they're trying to make that shit extinct. So who's the one that's actually making things extinct, man? Who's the one that's hunting them? The hunter himself.
Right.
Genesis 25, man, talking about Esau. But he's trying to bring that stuff, he's trying to bring it out like, you know, he's trying to protect the world, you know, all this plastic Jesus stuff, like, you know, what's his name? David Rothschild, I think,
Rothschild,
going around like he's trying to protect the earth.
Rothschild,
Hey, man, the scripture called him no marvel for Satan himself of turning into an angel of light. You know, these guys are trying to portray themselves like they're goody good, but they're the wicked that the scriptures speak about, man.
That's right, man.
Right, where do you want to start from, man?
Start from the top.
Come. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Come on, why is the scripture telling you to prepare thy soul for temptation? Because you're going to go through hard times. Now, we're speaking about balance, you know, and the brother opened it up with Proverbs 11. Now, the Lord told Ezekiel to eat the whole roll. And what did the Lord say to Ezekiel? He said, first it will be in your mouth sweet as honey, but in your stomach bitter. Now, what's that an example of? That's an example of balance, man. Because what you got to understand is that, yes, undeniably there's good elements to this truth as well, but there's some very bitter elements. Brothers are out here, you know, filming videos for all you know, you got agents watching you, you got people out there scheming to kill brothers. You had that in the ancient times, of course you're gonna have that now. Forget not the 40 men that wanted to kill Paul, said they wouldn't eat nor drink. You know, the men that tried to throw Yahushua off the cliff. You know, the men that called for Yahushua to be crucified and asked for a thief to be released onto them, man. You know, there's men that hate the elect. Israel's always hated the prophets and wished for their death. But ultimately speaking, on the flip side of it as well, you've got the beautiful understanding of the scriptures. But guess what? The scripture also says in Ecclesiastes 7, oppression maketh a wise man mad, and it also says with more wisdom increaseth much sorrow, man. So there's balance to everything, you know.
Oh, okay, say you're right on that, because there's a balance to, for example, there's a balance to pride.
Yeah.
Because the scripture says, see, someone that thinks of something, they're going to be very prideful. But what does the scripture say? The greater thou art, the more thou humble thyself. So to be greater in the eyes of Yahweh Shai, you've got to be humiliated. You've got to be brought low. You know, and that's what a lot of prophets went through, man.
That's right.
They got brought low, and that's why they're on the level they're in.
That's right.
If you think about our apostles and our elders, how much tribulation have they been through?
Oh, man.
They've been through mad tribulation, man, over the years. Things that, you know, men in Israel that can't compare to, and that is why they're the apostles and elders. Yahweh Shai set them up in that stead by making them go through the things they had to go through to understand that balance, man.
That's right.
You know?
Go on, bro, continue that.
Right, this is verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayst be increased at thy last end.
That's right.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
So you're gonna go through ups and downs. You're gonna go through good times. You're gonna go through bad. What did the Apostle Paul say? He said, I learned both how to be abound and how to be abased. In fact, let me just quickly bring this as a precept. This is Philippians, the 4th chapter. I'm going to go straight to the point. These are the words of Paul to the church in Philippi. He said, I know both how to be abased and I know how to be abound. Everywhere and in all things, I'm instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to be abound and to suffer need. So Paul knew the importance of a full 360 understanding, you know, because that's really and truly what we're going to have to exhibit in the kingdom of heaven. King Solomon was a perfect example of that when he had the 2 harlots before him claiming a baby. And then he showed the ultimate wisdom and said, let the baby be cut in half. And then the righteous mother, the actual true genuine mother, you know, she said, yo, let the child be given onto the other woman. But then the harlot said, yo, no, they were both harlots, but then the other woman said, the false lying woman said, yo, you know, yeah, cut the baby in half, you know. Wisdom. Why? Because he understood the smaller things to the greater things. The scripture says, be not ignorant in any matter, small or great. And that's what you got to be. You got to be a judge in all things. You got to have an understanding of things you might not even think are important to you. You got to have an understanding of the ecosystems, the way the world works. So you're going to have to govern that and the other nations in the kingdom. Because
what is judgment? If you look at Esau, for example, look at Esau's when you go into judgment, what's Esau's sign? The weights of balance.
Yeah, the weights. Yeah.
Because because we're set up to be judges, right? So what we got to do, everything that we judge within our own lives, because we're being set up to be judges in the kingdom. Everything that we're doing in our own lives right now, being built up, we got to judge that by a just weight. You got to balance it out with righteousness, man.
That's right. Go on, bro.
It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
But you see what gold is? Gold, everyone out here wants to have that precious metal, gold, you know. But guess what? Gold, as much as it's a precious metal, it goes through the most intense purification process out. You know what I mean? You gotta burn that, you know, you gotta beat it down, make sure you get all the impurities out of it. And the same way, people sought after gold. People, you know, Esau robbed so-called Ghana and they called it the Gold Coast, man. You know, people will go all kind of out of their way to get themselves on a good sizable chunk of gold. The money system, even though, you know, we know it's not measured on gold, but they claim it is. But, you know, it's supposed to be measured on gold. Gold is a precious commodity, but it goes through some of the most tested and the hardest purification processes, meaning that it's so heavily sought after. That applies onto us. Everyone's gonna come to Jerusalem on some, yo, the men of Israel, these are some great men, you know, these are actually what the scripture says, you know, the nations shall look at us and say, you know, what has the Most High wrought, man? You know, Israel's gonna be that beacon of light. But guess what? We're gonna be the beacon of light. But right now, our people are in utter darkness right now. But it's the balance of it. You know, you got our women wearing wigs, wearing artificial hair. You got giving lip to the man. Women with the highest abortion rates. Our men are out there killing each other in the streets, man. You know, the curses are heavily on us. But guess what? Even the curses and the blessings. The book of Deuteronomy 28, 1-15 is the blessings. 15 up to 64 is the curses. But guess what? That was a balance, man. The Most High gave us an ultimatum. He gave us the righteous path or the wicked. And unfortunately, you know, we having to walk the wicked right now. But we're gonna get back, you know, to the righteous way. You got something?
Yeah, quick one. This is Wisdom Solomon chapter 8 verse 7. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth, this is talking about wisdom, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. And that word temperance, to be tempered, is basically to be tried and to balance it out, basically. To get out of that, you know. In fact, let me just go into that word quickly. Temperance, quickly, 1 second. See if I can get the because you know, we got to check everything out, man. You know, make sure that what we're bringing out. That's right. Look, restrain and moderation. Let's go properly into the word. This etymology online. It says temperance, noun, mid 14th century, self-restraint, moderation.
Let me just say this on self-restraint. Using the word as not abusing it. So, for example, you might be in a position where you can have a good, so-called good job, like the apostles have said. And if you can get a so-called good job for the good of the ministry, then yeah, why not? But then you also got to have self-restraint in the sense of, yo, I'm doing this job for the good of the ministry. I'm not trying to do this job to become the next Richard Branson. I'm not trying to do this job to then open up my own. Like, you know, you can have a little business on the side, you know, but you got to have the mentality of, I'm not trying to do this to have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan or some IUIC shit.
Trying to build out an empire in the kingdom, like certain guys, like, what's it, Zabak? Like they're trying to bring out right now, man. Like, we ain't with that, man. Well, I think it was the elder in Dallas, Elder Ariella. Elder Ariella, he brought out in a sit down recently. He said, "Look, man, the real long-term goal is Yahweh Shai returning." Man.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right.
Everything else is just a short-term thing. You know, that's things of the world, man. You know, that's just things that we're just doing to get by until the Lord returns, man. Let me keep going in Sirach.
Yeah.
This is back in Sirach chapter 2, verse 6. Believe in Him, and He will help thee. order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside, lest ye fall.
That's right. Go on, bro. Great.
Yeah, man. Like we were going into earlier, the fire and the water. You got to be balanced in this truth, man. Okay. Too much onto one side, you're gonna fall, man. Okay. You got examples of guys who would come into the truth and they're trying to cram like 6 years, 7 years worth of knowledge into like 4 months.
Yeah,
you're not going out.
Honey, man.
They ate too much honey. Going, they got sick. The bitterness was too much. They're in the house just going crazy. 2 weeks straight, just going into scriptures. Hardly going. You're not seeing the day silent. Not seeing sunlight. Not going out meeting no brothers or something. You can't be in that spirit, man. You got to have everything within balance. Okay. What does Ecclesiastes say? If you can, Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. Don't forget that quickly. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. There's time. Hey, sometimes you got to clean. You might come to your house, or this place looks like a dump. So you clean it. Okay. Sometimes you got to go deal with a woman. If you marry, if you're burning, go marry. Sometimes you got to go might have some family, in the world. Might go spend a little time with them. Sometimes you got to spend some time with brothers. Most of the time you got to be really studying, watching videos. Sometimes you got to go for a walk. Sometimes you got to exercise. Sometimes you got to cook a meal. Sometimes you got to eat. There's a time to everything in a place.
That's right.
And that's the balance within this truth. And that's something that we learn more and more day by day, man.
You see, like, because a lot of men in this truth don't have a balance, man. Yeah. A lot of men in this truth don't have a balance, and that's what you got to understand. Like, people come in the truth and then they think within a couple of years they're going to be Apostle Tahar, they're going to be on Apostle Gabar, Apostle Aranlab, Apostle Rakaz level. But you got to understand that takes patience, man. Greatness takes time, And that's the thing that a lot of people out here don't seem to understand, that, you got to wait upon the Lord, man. This kingdom is not built for us to survive. And I got this real quick I'm going to bring up. So 2 Peter is the 3rd chapter and the 11th verse. Seeing then all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy all holy conversation and godliness? Now the reason I brought that out is because that's that in the spirit of using the world as not abusing it. You got to understand that, yes, you might have a decent paying job, you're supporting the brothers, you have a little change for yourself to do whatever the hell you got to do. But at the same time, you got to be in the spirit of, this is just to get by. You know what I mean? Like, I like to use this analogy. Like, we're stranded in Babylon right now. And like West Africa, we did stay in some West Africa, even though you got Jake infatuated with that. That's not like a hotel stay. Like, you might leave your main house and then you go stay somewhere in a hotel or something. You stay there for so long, you get accustomed to the place and you know the people by first name basis and shit. But that's not your home, man. Africa was just like a little unpleasant hotel stay because we had to flee from our main home, which is Jerusalem, And now we're just in some fucking, you might get checked out and you ain't got no way to get back home. You waiting for that coach. How is Shai gonna come with that coach in the spirit? And really, we're just out here stranded, but that's what we're waiting upon. But you gotta understand that this place is not gonna last. So really and truly, man, balance is what you need. Because yes, you still at the end of the day gotta make your own money. You can't be out here saying, well, fuck it, I ain't gonna work, I ain't gonna go and do nothing, I'm gonna scrounge off brothers. Because Apostle Paul cursed out men in the churches that were just being, I forgot the exact word he used, but basically not pulling their own weight. Because yes, you got to pull your weight in the scriptures, but you also got to be a man at the end of the day, Gird up thy loins like a man, make some own substance of yourself, help brothers out. You can't be the type of guy with that demonic spirit of, brother, I've been studying. Like, at the end of the day, obviously you're supposed to look after brothers that are above you, of course, but you also then have to carry yourself as a man as well. You can't try, the Apostle Tahar always brings out the stories of men in the old school that would try and, for lack of better words, finesse brothers and, have brothers going all kind of out of pocket for them and then fucking brothers over. That's a demon. You got to have that thing of, brothers help brothers out, but you got to, still carry your weight.
Well, there's a balance to it because Apostle Paul said, I've given you, you've given me, I've given you spiritual things.
Yeah.
So how much are you going to give me the carnal
And that's
things?
another example of balance.
That's a balance because, hey, the Apostle Paul was giving them spiritual gifts, man.
Yeah.
And that's saying you get the same thing in this truth. That's why do we think we pay tithes and alms, man? Okay? Or gift offerings. Okay, you got to do that and then the Lord will bless you, man. Because why? Because you're giving carnal gifts, okay? And you know what? Apostle Gabar brought this out a while back. The carnal gifts that we send to the apostles or things like that, that can never measure to the spiritual gifts that Yahweh Shemi Shai has given to us through those men. Those great men. That can never measure, man. Okay? That balance isn't there yet. And one thing you said earlier as well about guys that want to be like Apostle Tahar, be Apostle Tahar, right? If we were going to be the apostles, men that are younger men or men that are coming in, then we would have been in the truth 30 years ago and endured. Okay? You can't, look, anyone that comes in, you are not going to be, on the level of the apostles, ever.
And you got to remember as well, there's a hell to catch with that. The higher up you get in the spirit, the more temptation you got to deal with. Yahweh Shai had to deal with Satan himself. Now, for you to want to be on Apostles of Ha's level, that means you trying to say to the Most High, yo, because the Most High will give you as much hell as is sufficient for you. He ain't gonna give you more than you can handle. But for you to turn around and tell the Lord, yo, I want to be that man, I want to be on his level. You trying to tell the Lord, yo, I can deal with what you're giving me. This ain't shit for me. Then that's when brothers get the Lord might even chuck you a little bit of hell just to see how you deal with it. And then brothers get all bugged out, man. That's that taking more honey than was sufficient for you. That's why you got to be humble in this truth, man. In Matthew 25, it talks about the talents, Some brothers had 5, some had 2, some had 1. That doesn't mean you get in the spirit of, well, I just got 2 talents, so I can be a bit more lukewarm and I can, at the end of the day, you got to be on fire with what you got. But you also got to understand that there's rank in this. That's balance,
Go precept.
Go on, man.
This is Matthew chapter 20, verse 20. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him and desiring a certain thing of him.
So that was a woman of, of two men of the Lord at the time, and she was being a woman. She was like, yo, I want my sons to be great. I want my sons to be next to the Most High. I want them to have their names inscribed in the kingdom of heaven, right next to Yahweh Shai's,
And he said unto her, what wilt thou? She saith unto him, grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the one other on the left in thy kingdom. But Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?
That's right, man.
They say unto him, we are able. And he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. So there's an order set up in this thing, man. Okay? Now everyone wants to be the top guy, but you don't want to go through the things to be the top guy. When you come into this truth and you're learning basic things, that's good, man. Go with that. If you've been in this truth, I've been in this truth. I've been out there on the highways and byways about 3 coming up to 4 years. I know what I know. I'm trying to be the best that I can be, me. And I'm trying to be in Yahweh Shai and righteousness and so much more. All the other brothers that we catch this hell with, man. Guys that come in and you got a lot of old school guys that the apostles were speaking about. They'll come back and try and come up with some deep doctrine, and they're going way off because they're trying to get back into that limelight instead of humbling themselves, coming to the camp and saying, yo, look, let me go hold a sign, man. Baba Shah, have mercy on me.
But they let go of the plow, man.
That's right, man.
And they're not worthy of the Lord. That's the thing. Like, the whole purpose of the sit down is to be able to emphasize, man. Balance is important, man. Balance is the key to everything. Apostle Gabar a while back, and it will forever stick with me, did a beautiful sit down on balance, man. The Most High deals with balance. He's a balanced power. We, his creations, are balanced. We deal with, the righteous and the wicked the same way the Heavenly Father does, man. And ultimately speaking, you got to understand that Yahweh Shai is putting us through hell on this side so that we can be righteous on the other, man. We learning a perfect lesson in unrighteousness on this side so we can be righteous without blemish, without imperfection on the other side, man.
We have to know good and evil.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. 2 sides of a coin, man. It's all about balance, man. And yo, man, Yahweh Shai, Ra'azah, we be members of the elect, man. We'll look back on moments like this and thought, yo, yes, it was unpleasant in Babylon, but guess what? Because of the hell that we caught, we know the crevices, the deep crevices of wickedness, and we understand it. Now we can judge. You know what I mean? We're gonna have proper understanding because we still gonna have to judge the other nations, man. We're gonna be made perfect, man. But to be perfect is not just to know the righteous; it's also to know the wicked. Not just to know the hot, but also the cold.
And we're gonna have the laws in our minds, so we're not gonna go off. We're gonna be perfect in the Lord, man. Because we've rehearsed the righteous acts, and then that final performance is gonna be perfect, man. That's right. So yeah, man. I mean, you got anything more you want to say? Right. So yeah, man. With that, we'd like to just close this off and say Barakafar Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakwa. Double honors to the apostles and elders once again. Double honors, man.
Also salutations to all of the sincere Akim. Shalom.
Shalom.